Yeri Han stars as Monica, the matriarch of a Korean American family in the new film Minari. I'm Kevin Jacobsen of Gold Derby here with Yeti. And to start off, the day we're recording this is the day of the Screen Actors Guild Award nominations, and you and your cast were nominated. How did you hear the news of your nomination?
맨 처음에는 회사를 통해서 이제 그 소식을 듣게 됐고, 매일매일 사실 미나리가 좋은 소식들을 이제 주어서 하루가 되게 기분 좋게 시작하고 있죠, 하루를. 네.
I first heard the news from my agent, and we seem to be hearing good news every day on Minari, so I'm starting every day very happy.
그리고 그 영화제가 미국 내에서도 굉장히 중요한 영화제로 알고 있어요. 그래서 되게 많은 배우들과 감독들이 참여하는 그런 영화제로 알고 있는데, 큰 기대를 안 하려고 노력하고 있고요. 그래도 이렇게 노미네이션 노미 된 것만으로도 되게 마음이 좋아요.
I heard it's a very important award in the American film scene, that a lot of actors and directors take part in this award. I'm trying not to have too high hopes about the award, but being nominated itself, I already feel honored.
Yes. Well, when you were reading the script for the film, what was it that appealed to you to make you want to play Monica?
사실 거의 많은 부분들이 감독님의 어린 시절, 실제 있었던 어린 시절이라는 게 굉장히 호기심을 자극했어요. 그 얘기들을 물론 픽션이지만 이렇게 자신의 어떤 성장 그리고 자신의 뭔가 애정이 정말 듬뿍 담긴 영화가 될 거라는 생각이 들어서 본인의 이야기인 게 사실 가장 마음에 들었어요.
Actually, it was the fact that the story was based on director's own childhood and growing up. So that aroused curiosity from me. I wanted to get to know more about the film. Although it's a fictional adaptation based on his own story, I knew for sure that there's going to be a lot of affection and love going in from the director's part.
그리고 모니카는 사실 시나리오 안에서 조금 비어있는 그런 부분들이 있어서 감독님과 정말 많은 부분의 모니카들을 만들어낼 수 있겠다라는 생각이 들었어요. 오히려 우리는 현장에 가면 뭔가 더 많은 얘기들을 하고 더 열정적으로 뭔가 표현해낼 수 있는 부분이 있을 것 같았어요.
Actually, on the script itself, there were a lot of blanks to fill about Monica's character, and that I was sure that on the set, when we start photography, that I will be able to talk more about the character and fill in the gaps with the director.
Yeah.
Well, this film has a very distinct sense of place, on this farm in Arkansas. You're doing some hard labor, there's some kind of a physicality to the performance. Did you find any difficulties in the more physical aspects of shooting?
사실 다른 것보다는 일단 날씨가 너무 더웠고요. 날씨가 거의 40도 계속 돼가지고 이제 일단 애기들이 너무 걱정됐고 선생님의 컨디션도 너무 걱정됐고 나머지는 조금 그렇게 힘들지 않았던 것 같아요. 오히려 조금 하루하루가 너무 빨리 지나가는 것 같다라는 생각도 들었고, 그리고 약간 시간이 갈수록 거의 끝에 마지막 촬영쯤 됐을 때는 어떻게 벌써 끝나 막 이러면서 되게 아쉬워했던 기억이 나요.
More than anything, it was the climate, the weather. It was almost 40 degrees Celsius every day. So I was concerned about the child actors as well as Yuh-jung. But everything else weren't really that much of a challenge. Actually, it was that the fact that every day just went by too fast that it left me wanting by the end of the shoot that, oh my God, it's already finished.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Well, your on-screen partner in the film is Stephen Yun. You spend a lot of time together in the film with him. Was there anything about Stephen that stood out to you compared to other screen partners that you've worked with?
스티븐은 사실 굉장히 귀여운 사람이에요. 되게 감정에도 되게 솔직하고, 그리고 뭔가 제이콥에 대한 고민이 되게 많았고, 그 고민들이 굉장히 진지했고, 뭔가 서로 최대한 가까워지면서 소통하려고 노력을 했어요.
Stephen is actually a very sweet guy. He's very honest with his emotions, and he gave a lot of thought into understanding his character, and he was very serious about it, which brought us closer because we wanted to talk about the character a lot together.
항상 되게 오픈 마인드였고 본인이 뭔가 잘 표현해내지 못하거나 뭔가 불편한 지점이 있으면 항상 예리 괜찮아? 어땠어? 난 어땠어? 이런 식으로 항상 체크하고 그 부분에 있어서 우리가 지금 왜 우리가 원하는 지점에 가지 못하는지에 대해서 항상 의논할 수 있어서 되게 좋았어요. 그런 부분에 있어서 정말 솔직해서.
He's been always very open-minded, and when something didn't go as he thought, or he wasn't happy or comfortable with something, he would always ask me. He would always check back to me, Yeri, you okay? Yeri, how did you feel? Which gave us the opportunity to talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I'm not sure how much thought you put into just what happened before the film in terms of what drew Monica and Jacob together, because she's more of a city person, he's more of like the country guy, so it wouldn't seem like they would be a perfect match, but they are so drawn together. How much did you think about the before?
가볍게 얘기한 적이 있었는데 아마 모니카는 굉장히 어린 나이에 제이콥을 만났을 거라고 생각했고 그리고 제 생각에는 아마 제이콥이 첫사랑이었을 것 같아요. 첫사랑이자 마지막 사랑인 거죠. 그래서 그가 뭔가 굉장히 큰 꿈을 꾸고 아메리칸 드림을 막 생각하고 이랬을 때도 아마 모니카는 그게 뭔지 잘 몰랐을 거예요.
We talked about that actually quite casually between the two of us, and we thought that that Monica probably met Jacob at a very young age, and it's my thoughts, but I think Jacob must have been Monica's first love and ended up being that last love. And when the love of her life had this huge aspirations, American dream that he wanted to attain, she probably didn't understand fully what that was.
그래서 아마 그냥 내가 사랑하는 그 제이콥이 너무 미국에 가고 싶다고 얘기하니까 그래 너의 꿈이 곧 내 꿈이지 하면서 나는 너를 너무 사랑하니까 그래 같이 아메리카로 떠나자 막 이런 그런 생각을 했었을 것 같아요. 모니카는 그러면서 이제 막상 아이를 낳고 이제 지내면서 굉장히 많은 역경의 시간들을 보내게 되죠.
So I guess it must have been for Monica, the dream of my love's dream is also my dream. So if you want to go to America, we'll go together to make that dream come true. But in reality, when she has kids and come across with all this hardship, that's what unfolds in the film.
그 당시에 여성들은 사실 그러니까 주체적으로 어떤 자신의 자아가 크게 성장하거나 그 나이에는 크게 성장하거나 아니면 본인이 어떤 것을 꼭 이루겠다 하는 그런 꿈들을 꾸는 게 사실은 쉽지는 않았던 것 같아요. 모니카도 그들과 다르지 않았을 것 같고요.
I suppose for women in that from that time, it wasn't easy for them to have their own aspirations and pursue their dreams. So I guess it would have been same for Monica.
그래서 그렇게 가족과 함께 있고 이렇게 가족에게 정말 많은 에너지와 사랑을 정말 주게 되는 거죠.
That's why she spends dedicates all of her time with the family and gives them so much energy and love.
Yeah.
Well, there's a scene in the film that is quite meaningful when Monica tells her mother, it must have been so hard for you to travel so far. And Monica is so emotional in that scene. And I actually spoke with the editor, Harry Yoon, a few weeks ago, and he mentioned that that is the scene where he knew this film would be something special. Was there a moment for you on set where you felt like this would be a film that people would really respond to in a big way?
사실은 굉장히 오랫동안 떨어져 있고 가장 나에게 모니카에게 애틋한 사람이 순자예요. 엄마인 거죠. 순자가 그 트레일러 안으로 딱 등장하는 순간 이들은 너무 가족이다. 너무 닮은 사람이다. 라는 그런 인상을 주고 싶었어요. 그리고 그 만남이 굉장히 클래식했으면 좋겠다라는 생각도 들었어요. 그게 가장 뭔가 한국적인 정서를 표현하고 이들이 굉장히 오랫동안 떨어져 있었지만 너무 긴밀하고 피를 나눈 그런 사이라는 게 느껴졌으면 좋겠다라는 생각을 했어요.
So when Sunja visits Monica and they meet for the first time in the trailer, I wanted that moment to for the audience to instantly feel that they're family, that they're resemble each other so much, and I wanted that very moment to feel classic. Through that meeting, through that reunion, I wanted to convey the very deep Korean sentiment of although they've been apart for such a long time, they were still intimate and they were still connected by blood. I wanted the audience to feel instantly that special connection.
Yeah, and I think we do. I also did just want to talk about you working with the legendary Ya Jungyun, playing your mother. She's so funny in the film. Was that also how she was behind the scenes too?
사실 굉장히 유쾌하고 굉장히 유머러스한 사람이고 그리고 뭔가 되게 비극적인 어떤 힘든 상황에서도 그거를 이렇게 한 발 물러서서 되게 유쾌하게 바라보는 힘이 있어요.
She's such a pleasant person with a great sense of humor. And she has that amazing ability to take a step back from even a tragic situation and to look at it in a different perspective.
그리고 저 같은 경우는 한국에서도 굉장히 선생님이 예전 작품부터 다 봤기 때문에 그녀가 얼마나 많은 시간 동안 연기를 하고 그 연기를 위해서 어떤 고민을 하고 했던 거를 알기 때문에 그냥 선생님과 작업하는 이 시간들이 되게 감사하게 느껴졌고 그리고 어찌되었건 뭔가 한 작품을 잘 마무리하고 이 작품이 선생님께도 되게 의미 있는 작품이 된 게 그리고 거기에 제가 출연했다는 게 너무 좋아요.
I've known all of her body of work and I know that she's been acting for a long time and how much thought and efforts have gone into all of her work. So I was just grateful that I had the opportunity to work with her on this film, particularly this film that is so meaningful to her, and I'm just thrilled that I'm part of it.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up here, I also wanted to talk about how you also sing the end credits song, which is called Rainsong. How did that come together for you to lend your voice to that?
어, 일단 에밀의 음악이 다 너무 좋았어요. 영화에 나오는 그 음악들이 진짜 너무너무 아름다웠고 현장에 이제 에밀이 와서 이제 사운드 트랙을 들려주기도 했어요. 이러이러한 느낌일 것 같아 막 이런 얘기를 했는데 그 곡들이 다 너무 아름다운 거예요.
First of all of Emma's music were beautiful. Came to this set and played the soundtrack and would tell us stories about how he wrote the music, and they were all beautiful.
그래서 처음에 제안이 왔을 때 감사하고 한편으로는 이거 내가 해도 되나 막 이런 고민을 했었는데 뭔가 크레딧이 올라갈 때 이렇게 자장가 같은 목소리로 물론 외국 분들은 그 가사를 다 알아듣지는 못하겠지만 그냥 좋은 느낌을 받았으면 좋겠었어요. 따뜻한 느낌. 그리고 끝까지 이 영화의 감정을 가지고 극장 밖으로 나가면 너무 좋겠다라는 생각이 들어서 음악을 처음 들었을 때 안 할 수가 없었어요.
When I was asked to do that, I first felt very grateful, but then at the same time felt daunted whether I can do it. But then when that ending credit rolls, if I can sing that song with a lullaby-like voice, then even if English, like non-Korean speaking audience wouldn't understand all of the words, they would take away that warmth with them, even when they walk out of the cinema.
Yeah, that's what I took away from it as well. So it worked. Well, thank you so much, Yeri, for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And for those of you watching, hit like and subscribe for more interviews and head to goldderby.com to make your awards season predictions.
Thank you, Kevin.